standing first of all. So if you come nearer to the top of your mat, just posture here, and then just start to pay a little bit more attention to the feet. So the big toe mound and both sides of the heel. Just see if you can really find those points there. And then just soften through the knees. Take some nice deep breaths. Start to lengthen through the front of the body. So you're starting to just grow a little taller, shoulders start to come back. Maybe even rotating the palms to face forward, and that just allows the shoulders to roll back as well. And then notice if you've locked through the knees. And quite often when we have lots to think about, we then end up sort of tensing through other areas. So just come to a little bit of softness through the legs, but maintaining that length through the spine. You can close your eyes if you haven't already. And just notice your breath. We're not here for too long. And this is our Tadasana, our mountain pose. You can imagine that you're stood on top of a mountain, bold and strong. Or even that you are the mountain that weathers all the storms and all the hurdles that perhaps come our way, that we're still stood here strong. Take one more breath. Just gently soften through the knees, and we're just going to bring our arms out left to right, reaching the arms all the way up, and as they do, the palms come to touch. Feel free maybe looking up towards the thumbs. Exhale, hands come all the way back down by your side. Two more, inhale, reaching up. Maybe get a little bit of movement in through the neck. Decide if that feels good. If not, keep the gaze out to the front. Exhale, hands down. And again, inhale. Exhale. This time we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms come together. Bring your hands all the way down the center, and then release your hands and bring them out to the side. So creating like a circle. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, down through the midline. Inhale again. Exhale, down. This time, inhale, take your arms up, soften through the knees, maybe look up towards the thumbs. And as we exhale, bend through the knees, folding forwards, hands come down to the floor. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. You need to sort of wiggle the toes or bend and straighten the legs. You can just do any movement that feels good for you. And then we're going to go through 3 half lifts. So it's entirely up to you. You can bring your hands to your shins, your thighs, or behind you. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale to soften. Maybe you change it on each one. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale to soften. Last time. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, soften. Bend the knees. Bring the hands down to the floor, and then step your right foot back, keeping your right knee lifted, so coming into like a runner's lunge. Allow the hips to drop a little bit here onto the fingertips. If you need blocks, you can put a block down here. And we're just going to get moving with the body here. So we're going to inhale into our lunge. Exhale to start to straighten through the legs, folding over that front leg. So we're lifting the heel of the back leg and the left foot is planted. Inhale, come back to this runner's lunge. Exhale, folding over that leg. And just do that a few more times with your breath. Maybe you can bring palms to the floor. Just feel that movement through the legs, especially the back of the left leg. And the next time we come into this pyramid variation, just hold here for a breath or two. Maybe shake the head a little bit, just releasing through here. And then bend into that front knee. Bring your hands down to the floor, and then we're going to step the left foot back and just come into our first downward dog. And again, do what you need to do here. So if you need to pedal the feet, then do. Maybe bending the knees and straightening, so we can just get a bit of movement. Okay, lovely. And then bend the knees slowly, looking forward. Walk your way all the way back to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding back down. This time, hands come to the floor. Step the left foot back, keeping that runner's lunge. Staying here, open up through the shoulders. So really, I almost want you to imagine that you're about to start a race. So if your head's down here, you can't see the direction that you're going in. So just roll those shoulders back, gazing forward slightly. Again, it might be that you're up higher here on blocks, or a couple of books. On the fingertips, maybe your palms can come down. Take a breath. And then we're going to move through the pyramid variation, moving with the breath. So on your next exhale, you're going to start to lift the hips straight and through the legs, folding over that right leg. Inhale back to that runner's lunge. Exhale, lift and fold. Exhale, lunge. So just move with your breath. Really start to bring in that ocean breath, Ujjayi breath. And the next time you come back into this pyramid, hold here. Maybe palms come to the floor. Maybe you walk your hands further forward or further back. You decide. Take a couple of breaths. Relax through the head. And then inhale, bend into that front knee. Bring your hands down and step your right foot back into down dog. Maybe you pedal the feet here, or maybe you come straight to stillness. Paying attention to the index finger and thumb, the heel of the hand. Clawing through the fingertips. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Soft knees here if you need to. I'm just going to get a little bit of movement in through the hips here. So bend the knees and then allow your feet, or your heels, sorry, to rotate towards the right. And you're almost like you're dropping your hips down. And then come back to the downward dog variation with the knees bent, and then allow your heels to go to the left side. So we're rotating the feet, sort of on the balls of the feet, just from side to side, paying attention to the stretch in the sides of the body. One more to each side. You can move as slow as you want to. And then we'll come back to our downward dog. Take a breath. Full conscious breathing. From here, inhale, feel free. I'm going to do this a couple of times through the practice, so maybe lower the knees first of all. Walk your hands slightly forward. Shift forward so your upper body's in plank. And we're going to lower down slowly with the count of 5. But find this foundation first. Inhale. Exhale, elbows start to come behind you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold on that one. And then lower all the way down, straight through the legs, coming onto the top of the feet. Allow your fingertips, your arms to come out to the side. We're going to inhale slowly, just lifting the head and the chest just a little bit off the floor, so not coming up too high. Exhale back down. 2 more. Last one. Bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, coming back up into a tabletop position. And from here, just bring your knees a little bit wider, toes to touch, and walk your hands back. So if your knees are really niggly here, you might come up into a high pose. We're just going to be starting to stretch back. Okay, but we're going to do it from a wide child. So we do come up, start to lean back. We'll bring the left hand behind us, reach with the right arm and push the hips forward. So it's a camel variation here. You're then going to come forward, sweep the right arm down in front, bring it all the way behind you. Left arm follows and then sweeps back behind you, pushing those hips forward. One more to each side. We'll get to practice this again in a moment. So bringing the hands through and open. And then coming back through. Coming back to this neutral position, bring your knees underneath your hips. So again, feel free to pad out the knees here, just for that added comfort. Inhale, dropping the tummy, gaze comes forward. As you exhale, just curl the toes under, rounding through into cat. Inhale, top of the feet, coming through into our cow pose. Exhale, curl the toes under, rounding through into cat. One more. Keeping the toes curled under, come back to this neutral position. Either shift the hips back, and if that's too much in the knees, you can come up from this position into dog, or shift the hips back and then peel your hips up, coming into our downward dog. Take a breath. Feel free, you can rock the hips from side to side. And again, bending those knees. One to each side, so the heels rotate to the right, drop those hips, feel that stretch, come back through center, drop the hips to the other side, back through center. Inhale here, we're going to roll through the spine, so allow the knees to bend. Then as we roll through, we tuck the chin into the chest, rolling through all the way into plank. Again, you can lower the knees here if you need to. We're just going to repeat what we did before. So elbows come behind us, gazing towards the front of your mat. And we're going to lower 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then lower all the way down. Well done. Come on to the top of the feet. Hands can either be where they are underneath the shoulders, or feel free to take the wider pose here. It's entirely up to you. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, back down. 2 more. Move with your breath. And exhale to fold. Inhale, slowly pushing up onto all fours. And just making sure that the knees are underneath the hips. So from here, this right leg now, we're going to rotate the right leg out to the side. Okay, so the foot spins out off your mat on the right side as you roll your body open. And your left foot, you can bring your heel just in front of the the knee. So it's not necessarily in line with the knee, it can come forward slightly. Inhale, coming up. So pad out this knee if you need to. Take up some space here as you breathe in, taking the arms out to the side, and then dropping the left arm down to this left leg. Just reach that right arm up. Feel that stretch here. Full breath. And then exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor. Reach that left arm up and over towards the front of your mat. So as you arrive here, maybe this is enough, okay, and you can stay here. Maybe you lift this left leg and you start to bend it, and you can perhaps hold on to this left foot with your left hand, okay? So for some, this can be quite hard to do, so don't feel like you have to be here. You can be here just by lifting that leg. Maybe you can hold on to this foot and you start to open up, bringing this knee backwards slightly, opening up into your chest. Again, find what works for you. If this isn't okay, come back. Take a few variations. Bringing the chest and heart back towards the center. Release that leg without catapulting it down. Bring it down to the floor. Inhale, use the strength in the side. And then we're going to come all the way down. Spin that right foot back round. And then here we're going to step the left foot forward. Lifting up that right knee. And again, just coming into this runner's lunge. Take a breath here. So on my left foot is at the front of my mat in between my hands. Right foot at the back. Back knees lifted. Take a breath. Hands come down to the floor. Step the left foot back towards the back of the mat. Full breath. Again, shifting forward, either in full plank or kneeling plank. We're going to roll through from down dog. So start to lift up through the navel, draws in towards the spine, rolling over onto the toes. As you roll through the spine into our plank pose. Elbows back behind us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Lower all the way down. Inhale, choose, maybe take this wide cobra. Maybe come up a little bit higher. Exhale down. 2 more. Last one. Bring in the hands underneath the shoulders, either push back to knees, or again, you can come all the way up into full plank, and then back to downward dog. Take a breath here. Full conscious breathing. I'm going to switch my down dog to this side. Okay, from here, lower the knees back down. Turn your left foot out towards the left side of the mat. And then slowly start to walk yourself around as you bring the right foot down. Come all the way up, arms at shoulder height. So find your position here first of all. Breathing deep. Rooting down. Inhale, start to reach that left arm up. As the right hand comes down to the right leg, exhaling here. Feel this stretch all the way from that left hip, all the way up the side. You can really start to bend over here if you want to. You can start to look up towards that upper arm. Full breath. And then we're going to reverse. So left hand comes down to the floor. Inhale, peel that right arm up. And maybe over towards the left side of your mat. Take a breath. Again, you can gaze up towards the upper arm, or perhaps you add on. So you could just lift this leg, balancing here, Really flexing through the toes, finding this balance. Maybe you bend that right knee, bring the right arm, right hand behind you, hold on to the foot, and just start to bring that right knee back slightly, opening up through the chest, maybe looking up towards the ceiling, rolling that right shoulder back. So find a variation that works. Find the breath, balancing. Exhale, bring your head back first if you've got hold of the leg, and then without catapulting, slowly release that right foot down, tap it into that strength to come all the way up slowly, and then we're going to bring the hands back down, pivot the legs, pivot that left knee, and this time come straight into downward dog. Take a breath. Full conscious breathing. Inhale, rolling through the spine, so coming up onto the toes as we roll through, coming into our plank pose. Again, lower the knees if you want to here. Exhale, lowering down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on to the top of the feet. Decide where you want the hands to be. They can be gently out to the side, maybe further in front. Inhale, rolling up. So this is a lovely stretch with your palms facing forward, sort of left to right side of your mat on the floor, taking a wide position with the hands. Exhale, coming back down. And just do that a few more times with your breath. You can have a play with the hands positions. So for some, having wide hands doesn't necessarily feel great for the lower back. But the more you sort of play with the placement of your hands, you'll find what really works for you, what feels good. Noticing the pelvis on the floor. You know, I'm going to do 2 more here. Find that connection with breath. Breath comes first and the movement follows the breath. Coming down, bringing your hands underneath your forehead and just take a moment here in this resting pose. You can rock the hips if you want to, or just come to stillness. Nice conscious breath, easy breathing. Okay, so we're just going to stay in prone position, face down onto our mats at the moment. What I want you to do, we're just going to go through some little variations, just working into these back muscles, okay, and also into our glutes. So we're going to be mindful, move with the breath. We're going to do alternate sides. So instead of having the arms out straight, you can if you want to. I'm going to keep the hands cactus sort of arms by my head. So it's almost like my hand framing my head nice and wide off the mat. And from here, we're going to inhale, keep the gaze down, lift your right arm off the floor and your left leg. Hold. On your next exhale, lower. Left arm, right leg, inhale. Hold for the exhale. Inhale again. Exhale, lower. Right arm, left leg, inhale. They don't have to lift high. Exhale here. Inhale again. Exhale down. So don't feel like you have to come up too high. Left arm, right leg. Inhale. You could just hover. Exhale here. Inhale again. Exhale down. And now we're just going to switch with the breath. So inhale to rise, opposite arm, opposite leg, it doesn't matter which. Exhale down. Inhale the other side. Exhale down. Just move through a couple of times. Really tapping into that pelvis, that core. So a strong, healthy core helps us to look after our back. One more to each side. If you need to take a break, do. And then coming down. Just rock the hips left to right. Leave the arms where they are. Just really shake the hips left to right. Just releases off any tension. And from here, we are going to come into this again, but this time we're going to lift the arms and the legs together. So again, you can keep your arms at cactus size, or you can bring the arms out in front of you. On your next inhale, briefly, we'll do it in different transition first. Just lifting the arms, inhale. Exhale, lower. On your next inhale, lift your legs, including those knees off the floor. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, lifting arms and legs. Exhale down. I'm going to repeat that whole sequence 2 more times. So inhale, front of the body. Exhale down. Exhale the legs. And lower the legs back down. Inhale, arms and legs. Keep it engaged. And exhale down. Last time. Inhale, arms. Exhale. Inhale, legs. Exhale. Inhale, arms and legs. Exhale. And then bring your hands all the way underneath your shoulders. Push yourself all the way up and come back into a child's pose. So if puppy posture is better for you, for your knees, then please take puppy posture or use support with a blanket and allow your spine to roll all the way into a child's pose. Just so we're allowing our spine to go the other way. Okay, so we've done some back bends here, and now we're allowing this space into the lower back. So just take a few breaths here. Breathing deep. Breathe into the back of the body. Slowly bringing your hands out in front of you and then rolling back up. Just take a moment here. Feel free if you want to go through some cat-cows just to get a bit of movement in through the spine, then do. And we're staying down low to the ground just for one more movement in here. So what I want you to do is bring your forearms down to the ground. So reach your hands forward a little bit first, then bring your forearms down, okay? So it's almost like you're coming into this puppy posture. What I want you to do is reach your left foot behind you. Toes can point down or you can point through your toes, entirely up to you. You're going to bring your head down towards the earth. So if you need more space, walk the hands forward. Maybe the head doesn't quite come to the earth. Just see what works for you. So it's this movement. And you're just going to inhale, lift that left leg. Exhale to lower. Just 4 more times. Just building that strength and stretching through. So this is great for the spine. But also build and strengthening the legs. 1 more. from here. Inhale, coming up. Walk the hands back and then step that left foot forward in between the hands. Just get a little bit of movement here. If you need to come off that right knee, you can lift that back knee and just rocking forwards back here. Just stretching through. Bring the right hand down to the ground. Again, your right knee can be lifted or lowered. Inhale, take that left arm up. Take a breath. Notice what's going on in this back leg. So if you have this back leg lifted, can you really start to push the right heel back towards the back of the mat? It's not going to touch, but it's just that intention. Exhale, lower the left hand down. Left foot comes back to the right. In our down dog. Take a breath. We're going to roll forward into plank or kneeling plank. On that next inhale, lower down to the ground for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Decide whether you want to take an up dog or cobra here. And then we'll come back into our downward dog. Take a breath. Exhale, lower the knees down. Arms walk forward slightly, bringing your head down to the earth. Maybe the knees need to walk back. So decide what you need to do. Your hands can be in towards each other. You can have parallel arms. Up to you. And then just start to lift up through this right leg. Breathing deep. Inhale to lift. Exhale to touch the toes to the floor. Navel draws back. Inhale, lift. Strong and slow through that right leg. Exhale down. 3 more. Really good for the legs. Last one. I think I might have done 4 more now, but let's go with it. Exhale, lower down. Pushing back up onto the hands. Step this right foot forward. And again, feel free, if you need to come off that left knee, just start to get a bit of movement in here, rocking forward and back. So just building strength in those legs, stretching and lengthening, helping with the mobility and the flexibility here. Also really good toning the thighs and your bottom. So inhale, reach that right arm up. Take a breath. Notice what's going on in the legs. You can even lift the hips a little bit here if you want to, or you can drop them down. Exhale, right hand comes down. Step the right foot back. Downward dog. Last chance here for our little vinyasa. Inhale, rolling through the spine, coming all the way forwards. Strong plank. Maybe if you're in kneeling, see if you can take full plank. Elbows come behind you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either lower to the floor, shifting onto the top of the feet. Coming into our up dog, and then we'll meet back in downward dog. Take a breath. Bending the knees, looking forwards, stepping forwards, forward fold. Release through the head, maybe heel toe the feet out a little bit wider, bend and soften through the knees, holding on to the opposite elbow. Just allow your body to be here, to soften. Notice, how does the body feel? Releasing the hands. Walking the feet just so they are sort of hip width apart, so they're not too wide. Inhale. Lifting up almost like in a halfway lift. You might have to hover your hands if they don't come to the ground, or bend your knees a little bit more. Bringing this right knee in towards your chest and the right heel up towards that right glute. And then step that right foot back. We're going to inhale, come into this high lunge. Coming up. Almost standing, which we haven't done for a little while, so just notice how you feel here. Then exhale, come into your warrior two. Take a breath. So I'm going to give you two options here. We're going to come into reverse warrior. Now you can either bring the right hand down, or you can spin the hands round and then come on to almost like a high lunge. So you're in warrior two, this back foot can pivot, and the left arm can come behind you and reach across to that right leg and come here. So you can have a choice. Either come to reverse warrior, or you can have a play, you can come here. We're all going to come back to warrior in a moment. Take a breath. Really reaching, stretch and find your expression of this pose. And wherever you are, we'll exhale back into our warrior two. Full conscious breath. And again, we're going to go into reverse. So choose which one you would like to take. Maybe if you did one, do the other. You're going to do the other one. Just start to bring the left hand behind you, coming into our high lunge, and reverse here. So the left hand reaches back to that right leg. We reach. We notice the feet. So we're grounding down, leaning back. Only as far as is comfortable, and then exhale back to warrior two. Take a breath. We're going to do that one more time. So either reverse warrior or a reverse high lunge. Start to move through. Inhale, reach, and reverse on that exhale. Full breath. Exhale back to our warrior two. Turn the toes in. Coming to parallel feet here. Take a breath. Roll the shoulders back. Open up through the chest. Full conscious breathing. Turn the heels in. The toes come out. Just briefly inhale, open up through the arms. As you exhale, bend through the arms, cactus those arms as your knees start to trace over towards the toes, coming into our goddess pose. Taking 5 breaths here. Relax through the shoulders. Find a drishti, a focal point, and breathe. Really breathe. Paying attention to that root. Inhale. Start to straighten through the legs, straighten through the arms. We're going to go into warrior two on the other side. So right foot faces towards the front of the mat, left foot in warrior two. So pause here. Notice how you feel. Take a breath. Try and come back to lengthening the breath. So we're going to reverse again, entirely up to you. Maybe you pivot that back foot, spinning the arms around, reaching back with that right arm onto the left thigh, and then rolling back here, opening up through the chest. Take a breath. And then coming back through into warrior two. If you feel like you need to straighten through that leg, feel free, then you can come back into it. Use the breath to release and soften. Inhale again, choose whether you either reverse warrior or reverse high lunge. Find your expression of the pose. Coming back through center into warrior two. One more time. Relax through the shoulders. Inhale, coming back through. Reverse. Find the breath. Exhale, warrior two. Settle in. Strong arms. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. Bring the palms up to touch above your head. Turn the right toes in. Exhale, bring the hands all the way behind your back. Interlace the hands, open up through the chest on your next inhale. Full conscious breaths. Either bringing the palms to touch so the heel of the hands come together, or allowing there to be space. Inhale again, opening up through the chest. Exhale, soften through the knees as you start to fold forwards. And again, you can allow the arms to move in front of the head or above the head, or you can leave them resting on your lower back. It's entirely up to you. Walk the feet wider if you want to. Or if the hands clasp doesn't feel good, then release them. Bring the hands down to the floor. Remembering it's your practice. Full conscious breaths. If your hands are clasped, keep them clasped. On an inhale, rolling up to halfway. So if your hands are down by the ground, bring them to the hips. Allow you to take a breath here. And then inhale, pushing through the feet, rolling all the way back up. Lovely. Release the hands. Start to walk the feet in. Shake off the legs. Coming to the top of your mat, just take an inhale here with the hands, so rooting through the feet. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And as we exhale, either keep the heels on the floor, you can lift the heels, depending on how you feel coming into a squat. And if a squat isn't right for you, come down to the ground. We're going to come into a seat, okay? So from here, you can keep the heels down. I've been working on this myself, okay? I've really struggled here. I'm starting to get a little bit lower, okay? And you'll notice that there's lots of people, especially in India and things, that will eat in a squat pose, but we tend to sort of lose it. So if you need to help onto your heels to come down, do. Maybe practice here. And then we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Take a breath. Just take a full body stretch here. Very briefly. And then tap into your core. So bringing your knees up, just rock yourself back up and then come into a wide sit. So we will come down in a moment. You're probably thinking, oh, yes. Okay, bring your right foot into your groin as far as you sort of can here. If it's too much pressure in the knees, bring it a little bit further down towards the knee. And then we're going to rotate our body towards the right side. So just coming into a seated twist. Just bring your hands down to the right side. Roll that right shoulder back. So you're almost lifting up through the front of the body here. Take a breath. And then your left hand is going to come to the left leg. Just allow that left hand to slide down the leg and either hold on to the foot, so you might hold on to the inside of the foot here, or maybe just the shin, entirely up to you. And then start to reach that right arm up and maybe over towards the toes. So you could be here, maybe you're here, maybe you're here. Okay, just find what works for you. You can even hold on to the big toe if you want to. Breathing deep. So we did lots of work into the lower back today, so just focus on the breath here. Trying to build that strength, that support network to look after our backs. Inhale, coming back up. And we're just going to switch. So right foot comes out, left foot comes in. So it's really important that when we're coming into different poses involving our back, that we do only do what sort of feels good. And if it doesn't, then there really is no point in doing it. Okay, so from here, again, just get situated first of all. Decide if you're comfortable, and if not, just adjust slightly, and then turn towards the left side. Hands can come down, maybe the right hand's on the right knee, and just open up to the left side. You might have the hands down, and just really come into this twist. And the same thing as the other side. So the right arm now is going to start to trace. So keep the twist this side. Okay, we're not coming back through center. So just keep the twist. The right hand starts to trace the leg. And then you start to reach that left arm up and fold over. So allow that right arm to go wherever it can reach. And then take a breath here. So imagine that you're trying to keep that left knee towards the floor. The left hip is rooted. Feel that stretch in the left side of the body. Breathing deep. Inhale, slowly coming up. Release that left leg. Just bring your feet out in front of you and just shake off the legs. You can rub the thighs. If you want to take a forward fold, then feel free to do so. And we're going to come down onto our backs. So arrive. Feel your back on the floor. Adjust wherever you need to. And just take a moment here. Okay, notice how those legs are feeling. Bringing the soles of your feet to touch, allow the knees to drop out side to side. Take a breath. And then reaching your hands forward, almost like you're holding on to a football or a beach ball. Your hands can be wider if you want to. Keeping the chin slightly tucked. So it's not really tucked, causing that sort of compression in the neck, but it's also not open really wide here. And what you're going to do, you're going to inhale, lift up, lift the shoulders and the head off the floor. You can gaze through the legs here, okay? So this is a bit different to sit-ups, okay? You can gaze through the legs if you want to, but make sure you're not crunching through the necks and maybe have a little bit more space. We're just going to gently pulse forward with the breath. And as you pulse forward, that contraction here in your tummy, we do that on an exhale. It helps to expel the air, but it also helps to work on these tummy muscles. If it's too much of the arms here, you can have the hands behind your head, cradling your head, supporting your neck. Okay, so you can be here. Just a few more. And inhale, hold. Exhale, slowly release. Allow the knees to come in towards each other and bring the knees in towards your chest and take some circles here. Reverse and take them the other way. And then from here, just bring your feet back down to the ground. Okay, so your knees can be bent or your legs can be out long. We're just going to gently work into the neck here. So on an exhale, just turn your head to one side. Take a breath here. Feel that stretch all the way down through the side of the neck. You can even take your arm out to the side, your right arm, and just almost stretch through those fingers, and you'll feel the stretch all the way up your arm, your forearms, into your shoulders, maybe all the way up into your neck. Take a breath. And then soften, release, bring the right hand in, turn your head back to the center, and then take your head to the right side. Maybe you do this and that's enough of a stretch through the left side of your head. Sometimes you have to lift the head and turn it a little bit more and then lay it back down. So just see how it works for you. And then send this left arm out maybe, and then really reach through those fingers. It's almost like you're stretching your palm, stretching those fingers side to side. Imagine you're like making a star shape with your hand. Feel that stretch. Really good for the arms. Exhale, soften, bring in the head slowly back through center. And arrive. Arrive in this nurturing pose. So you can keep your knees bent and feet on the floor. I've walked my feet out a little bit wider, so they're as wide as the mat, allowing my knees to fall in. Maybe you take the full Shavasana pose, legs out long, allowing the feet and ankles to relax. How do you feel? It's a question I get you to ask yourselves quite often during yoga practice, and it's a question that we should be using quite often throughout the day. Even when we're like preparing lunch, how do we feel? What do we need that's going to nourish us and take care of us? Our body is very much like a vehicle. We obviously take care of the exterior to certain lengths, but also the interior and the fuel that we put in to our vehicle really matters on how we run. It's a bit like if you rev that engine all the time, eventually that engine might give up. I'm not saying that's going to happen to us, but it's just that feeling that sometimes we just have to go for that Sunday drive instead of that morning rush hour drive. So I quite like the thought of imagining our body as our vehicle, something that allows us to move around, to travel from place to place, and it needs looking after. So this weekend, what can you do to look after yourself and then enable you to look after others? So just pause here for a breath or two. If your legs are bent, just take a moment to stretch. Just allow that light to come in if you haven't already. Just waking you up, getting you ready for the rest of your day. And then slowly rolling over onto one side. And then making our way back up into a comfortable seat. Just pause here for a moment. Notice how you feel. As always, I feel very humble knowing that you guys choose to come and share your time with me. So thank you for allowing me to guide you and hopefully make you feel good and start your day the right way. Bringing your hands to your heart. From me to you, have a great day, have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Lots of love. Namaste.